All right, everyone, welcome. We are in day 4 of the Witcher Legacy campaign Endgame extension. It is still live. You can go over there right now and join the adventure. It's a no-brainer with how great this community is and how great the game is, how amazing effort has been funneled into the board game for The Witcher Legacy from Go On Board. Again, continual congratulations to the team over there. They're on a well-deserved break. It's still going. Let's jump over and look at the timer right now. Let's see where it's at. Let's jump over here. I'm going to get out of OBS studio mode so we can go straight there. So we're on an 8-minute countdown. We're at 9.9 million euros. There is an 8-minute timer that will reset to a 10-minute timer. And every time a new backer comes in or an existing backer upgrades their pledge, every backer can only extend this timer by, they can only extend it one time per backer. So I can't myself go in there and just keep adding a set of dice to make the timer infinite. It's one per backer. And they're doing extremely well. They have already given one of their last major updates for the holiday until probably the new year comes and goes. And in January, we'll start to possibly get a proper update. But they're still in the comments section dropping updates and telling us exactly what it is that is there. I'm really, really impressed. We'll jump over and look at the game proper here. Let me jump over to YouTube real quick. I need to detach the chat box so that it can be recognized. Let's see here. Let's go to channel. Let's go to there. And pop out the chat. Alright, so now OBS Studio should be able to recognize. Alright, everything else should be good. Quite an interesting duplication of a duplication of a duplication. Alright, it doesn't look like it's showing properly. Give me a quick second here. Well, everything was working, and then it just decided to stop doing so. Let me jump over here. Let me jump over there. Back over here. Okay. And this should be everything that we need there. Okay. Maybe we'll go with that. Just gonna try to get it to display in a different way. All right, so you can see the timer right here. We are at 9 minutes 35 seconds. This gets reset again every time a new backer comes in or an existing backer adds something else to their pledge. It resets. It doesn't add time, it resets. So being aware of how that works. When I originally started to back in GameFound and this in-game system came up, I thought I could add a dice set and I'd add 10 minutes and add another dice set so I could give 20 minutes extra to the campaign, but that's not how it works. It just resets the timer. But it's impressive that 9.9 million has been raised. An extra 1.2 million euros has been raised just in the extended end game. The number of days, so 3 days, 21 hours, 12 minutes. We're going to be here for when it rolls over to day 4. And 12,559 backers have contributed to this becoming a reality. It is quite an impressive, I'm going to say it multiple times, impressive, amazing are words that are going to be spoken here multiple times. We're going to do a little bit of back and forth with seeing where the campaign timer is at, talking about a couple of things that the game has to offer, and playing Witcher 3. I've got Witcher 3 playing in the background. I might shift over there and just play a little bit, and then we'll come back over here and look at some things. We're well above 86 stretch goals. They have constantly been dropping new stuff, and throughout the live campaign, it's in a sort of a slow trickle right now, and that's to be expected. The primary purpose of the end game isn't to continuously add more content. It's to keep the door open for new backers to make it before the timer runs out. I could see this going for a week. We're over halfway through a full week, and it's possible. It's certainly possible. The weekend is here. The holiday, surprisingly, they launched it in a holiday season where people are maybe strapped for what it is they're spending their hard-earned money on, and they're still doing amazingly. They're breaking records. This is the, I believe, third highest funded. They're about to become number 2. They are the highest. They have the record for the longest extended campaign. And again, that's a smaller achievement, but it's still an amazing feat to have people continuously coming in and supporting or upping their support so that the door stays open. Yes, it's like every time I look back at the campaigns that I've been a part of for Go On Board, I've been a campaign supporter for The Witcher Old World. I've been a campaign supporter for The Witcher Path of Destiny. They did have a Tekken game that I was unable to back, and it has nothing to do with... well, it actually had a lot to do with Tekken. I mean, I'm not a huge fighter for video games. I don't play a ton of them. I do play them from time to time. I backed the Street Fighter, the miniature game from Angry Joe Vargas, and I forget the studio's name that did it. Can't remember off the top of my head. And I barely play that game. So I kind of looked at this one, and I'm more of a narrative player myself. So when they came out with Tekken, I was excited about it because it's Go On Board, and I regret that I didn't back it. I just couldn't at the time. So that's one project I haven't backed, and I would love to get a hold of their Valhalla and Titan board games. It's one of their firsts, and it's a bit pricey on eBay right now. I think it's somewhere up to $200 or something like that to get the Kickstarter edition. Maybe that's something they might consider re-releasing their original games, maybe an updated version of their first 2. But since the Titan and Valhalla, they've done The Witcher, Cyberpunk 2077. Those are their IPs, and then obviously Tekken. Oh gosh, it's got so much content, this board game, for The Witcher Legacy. If you enjoy a narrative game, if you enjoy making choices that matter and it persists throughout the campaign, over 40 hours worth of gameplay, and that's just for the first playthrough. So you know how replaying campaigns to find every nook and cranny can make that hour mark go up in the hundreds, if not thousands. And then they have an endless replay mode for the end game, and that's an end game for the board game, not the end game that we're currently in for GameFound for backers. They will probably update us again in the new year. 2026 is just around the corner. The last update that they gave us was update number 34. This is primarily to reward the community to celebrate themselves, and we got Alp here as a new miniature monster that they're adding, and it's a monster, but if you have the deluxe edition for your pledge, then you'll get all the extra bling, which is miniatures for your monsters versus tokens. And Alp was the last update that they gave us before they went on their holiday. Now what they're doing is they're giving us updates in the comments section, and they'll pin it at the top. So Barney, go on board. Hey guys, you did it. Another day of Endgame and another side quest is added to the notice board. Are you ready to investigate a family curse? Important notes, the latest side quest design is a work in progress. There's a lot of stuff that we added, the community added, because the game just kept getting funded, and due to the economy of scale, that stuff becomes free, but they also have to continuously work on it. They have to add it. They're taking a ton of backer support, questions and suggestions and ideas, and integrating it into the game. So they got to test that stuff, and artists have to start doing their art, and they have to start modeling the miniatures to get it up to speed. So it's going to have a little bit of a time before we see everything finalized, and that's what's really great about these projects, especially when you have a designer and a producer be as actively updating the community like Go On Board does. So they'll activate, they'll turn on, they'll push whatever button, or if it's not automatic, to give us and unlock things, but they have to go in there and manually put in the updated parts of the stretch goals, which we'll go down here and we'll show you what that looks like. And we'll actually take a look at this one. All right, so investigate the haunted mansion. Sorry, my Xbox controller has decided to, that's why the music cut out. The last one that they updated us that had investigate the haunted mansion. This one is a work in progress family curse. Let's see if they have anything on here. Alright, at the very bottom of the notice board, a small slip of paper appears with the text in a shaky, childlike hand. Mom and Dad are mean and strange, and my little brother too, Joe. At first glance, it doesn't sound like a job for you, but maybe it's worth taking a second look. Now, I apologize that all this stuff down here is being covered. I can't scroll up anymore, and I can't uncover, so my camera here is going to be covering up, so let me move this. Nope, we don't want to move that. We want to move that right there. So move this up here. We'll take this one and move this up here. Okay, so the exclusive stretch goal adds one new side quest, card, work in progress, and one new script for the side quest book. Now that side quest script book is getting to be substantial. And they have said that there's about 700, I think it might be up to 900 pages worth of text and story and narrative that they could put. If they bound it all together, it would be close to 900 pages. And that is just... I can't get my head around 700 to 900 pages. If I like to spiral bound my rule books for board games, and be spiral bounding 900 pages is going to be daunting, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'll just spiral bound each individual scenario. I'll spiral bound the rule book. I'll spiral bound the side quest book. But I do that quite often for board games. I laminate 10 mil the pages, and then I spiral bound them. It just helps for playing at the table, friends, eating, drinking. You don't want to mess up your component, especially for a game of this caliber. Yeah, so that's the most recent in-game phase, unlock Family Curse, and I could see us going into a 5th day, a 6th day, and then my personal goal, or I guess my personal milestone, is 7 days. Like, imagine if we could get it to 7 days. And again, the number 7 is very close to my heart because I like Cyberpunk 2077. So things that have the number 7 in them, again, that's just really good luck. That's really a testament to how well the campaign has been handled. And even in the holiday season where people are strapped for cash and may not be able to buy all the things that they want because it's a luxury item, people are just all over it. This community is strong. Yeah, so the timer is still at 8 minutes. It rarely falls below that marker. It rarely falls below 9. I'd say 9 minutes and above is about the average of the timer going down. But we're getting into how many people are out there. This campaign has over 70,000 followers. Now, not everybody that follows is intending to support or back. They're just curious. And it might be something that, like, you have influencers, you have content creators out there that want to track every project that is extremely popular so that they can create it in their channel and then talk about it. So those could be followers as well. Other companies are following that want to see how things are done. Other new creators that are interested in how a company puts something like this together, how they do business. So every follower does not have to be a backer. But the fact that they have over 70,000 followers and we're getting close to 30,000, I'd like to see that number. I don't know if go on board. No, I don't know if GameFound even provides the full number of backers, because it says 12,000 backers have supported the Endgame, but that doesn't say that how many backers are currently. But we'll get that information, I imagine. I don't know if there's a button somewhere that I can push to show that information, but I am a huge fan of their first Witcher game, The Witcher Old World. That was a competitive monster hunter, and it had how would I say it? Maybe 30% of that game was narrative side quests that you would do in one of the 3 phases of the game. So in phase 1 and I could probably bring up, they have added the old world to the possible rewards that you can add to your pledge here. And if you were to get everything, it's going to be a little over $1,000 if you wanted to do everything for The Witcher Old World and for The Witcher Legacy. All right, so there's the all-in at €359, 109 for the standard. So that's just monsters aren't miniatures, monsters are tokens. You can shade it if you're not a painter. I personally am a painter. I haven't painted every board game that I have, but this would be one that would get me back into full-on paint till you're done. That's the shaded version for people that don't want to paint. There's 3 story expansions for the game, and there is some cosmetic upgrades as well. All right, so here's the Witcher Old World. This was the original game, and 1 to 5 players, 90 to 150. And this game I have everything for as well. I have the extended map, which puts a Skellig. Let me get my... Let me switch over here real quick. I apologize for not having my screen up here. Let me put it down here at the bottom. I'll try to keep the this screen from covering up everything that I'm trying to show up here at the top. But this is The Witcher Old World, and this is a competitive game to where players will start at their school, School of the Wolf, School of the Griffin, and they will travel around the map here, having encounters, leveling themselves up. Primarily, it's to upgrade their board skills here, so that when they do fight, they have defense. They're able to drink more potions, and then they'll go. That's phase 1, and they use their cards in hand to make movements, to do attacks, and that's sort of the deck building mechanic that is working in the background for player actions. It's not a it's not a deck building game like, let's say, sorry, I'm talking and not hydrating. It's a deck building game in the sense of I have a deck of cards that I'm going to make stronger, but there's so many outlying and surrounding mechanics happening. The deck building is the system that allows the player to interact with the world. It's not a deck builder, say DC deck builder, to where that is literally just a tableau, cards in hand, and you're fighting either the you're fighting the villain for the DC deck builder, and I'm not trying to go all into explaining how deck builders work, but it's a lot more on the outside, with the deck building mechanic being how the player interacts, moves across the map, and fights monsters. But this game had a great following. It was a resounding success, and this to me is Alp as well. I feel like, and I took all of my cards downstairs, but I feel like she was in The Witcher Old World, but I don't know if she was called Alp. I should have brought those cards up here. I apologize for not having something to show on the stream. But when you finished with Phase 1, traveling across the map, you could even go gambling. You could possibly have an encounter through different interactions with the board, because there are side quests that get populated from these two cards, which is a city encounter or a wilds encounter, and these happen in Phase 2. But when these happen, they could have extended side quests that send you across the map. So if on the map during Phase 1 you encountered that side quest, then some other story that was populated from a previous encounter could make those encounters happen prior to Phase 2. But when then we go into Phase 2 for The Witcher Old World, you go into sort of a choose-your-own adventure. You draw a card, you have an encounter in the city or out in the wilds. If you're traveling to Skellig, which is one of the expansions for the game, which actually extends this side of the map and pushes it out, while you're traveling to the islands, you could encounter new islands that aren't printed on the board, so a little bit of a surprise. Or you just have, encounters with Dagon, if that's something that you want to fight. There's so much going on and underlying it. And this was just the Old World game, and they've taken Old World and just blown it up with so much more narrative and so much more content. There's over, I think, 16 scenarios if you add the expansions, and each scenario is essentially like an Old World game. It's a game by itself, and that encounter is possibly 2 to 4 hours long. That is about how long it takes to play a game of Witcher Old World. More players you add, the longer it's going to be. But I can't wait to get this on the table. I'm starting to get a studio set up downstairs in my sunroom. I want to start recording. Right now it's just going to be with my cell phone recording. I do have a microphone set up. I do have some boom arms and some mounts that I can set up a camera to where it's overhead, but I don't have multiple cameras that I have set up right now. But I do want to get there so that I'm ready for Cyberpunk 2077 coming summer of 2026, and it could be extended. And I want to also get ready for this game as well, amongst a bunch of other projects I'd like to do. But again, this was how the cards work. You attack, you defend, you can add cards to your redraw whenever you fight a monster. You have your phase, and when your turn's done, you draw back up to your hand limit, or to a limit of 7 cards. But this allows you to add more cards. This one sends it back into your hand, so it could... This is actually an interesting one, because when you use cards to attack, you put those cards into your discard pile in the order at which you made the combo. So you slide them together, and then you can draw them back into your hand with this particular card. So it says, from your discard pile, take this card back in. So from the discard pile, take that card from the top of the discard pile and put that back into your hand. Some cards actually, let's say this one right here, has an extension on it that has returned this card to your hand, and it just keeps kind of refreshing in your hand. You can fight other Witchers if you so choose. You can never do that in a school, and I don't know if they're going to show schools here on the board, but I just like... The game is so well crafted, and it makes me like deck building games more. The way that they initiated and executed this game was superb. Yeah, we're still at 8 minutes, and let's see if it goes under 8 minutes, which we're at almost 9.92. We're 80,000 away from a 10 million euros. We're above that. We're over 11.5 million US dollars. Yeah, wow. Yep, there we go right now. So 920,000 into the next million, 80,000 to go to reach 10 million euro. And 1.2 million of that was just in this Endgame that has been extended by 3 days, 21 hours, and 33 minutes. So 2.5 hours, which this stream will be at least 2.5 hours. We'll be here until it reaches into the day 4. So quite impressive. Again, I can't say enough about how well this was managed. And let's jump into the comments. Let's see what people are saying. Maybe we can answer some questions. Let's see here. Alright, going board. We need the mounted Iridan card for the Monster Trail expansion. Well, see, there is I hear what Gas Taboon is saying. In The Witcher Old World, there was a Monster Trail expansion which gave large cards and made the monsters act differently. They could even move around the board. The monsters in Old World, they pop up on a specific space number, and they stay in that wilds area or cities area. They're not moving all around the map, but thematically they're moving around in the city or the wilds surrounding that particular space. The Monster Trail expansion does a little bit of mix up with how the monsters, that makes them stronger. It gives them more abilities. But there was a mounted Iridan, which is the Wild Hunt characters, and he did not come with one of those Monster Trail cards. But there's something with the Monster Trail that gives all the other monsters a little bit of a extra thing. But the Iridan cards that come with the Wild Hunt is a kind of a scenario in and of itself. They already have the extra encounters, so it doesn't seem like it's something that we really need. It would be cool, but we don't really... I don't feel like we treat the Wild Hunt like we do the other monsters that we are tracking down, because it kind of feels like the Wild Hunt is hunting us, so it's kind of a reverse. Maybe the Wild Hunt is asking for a Monster Trail card for the Witchers that we play as. Let's reach 10 million now. We're almost there. We're 80,000 away. After 3 hours, we will unlock 6th task on the board. Yes, we have. What they're saying here with the 6th task is, let's scroll back up here to the top. So we go to the project and we scroll down here, get through those. All right, so let me zoom out. So when we started the end game, it started right here. We got the Law of Surprise. That was the last one during the initial live campaign. And now we are here in the end game phase. And the first end game addition stretch goal was escort the merchant. So that's number 1, which you see right here. And then this was number 2, investigate what kills the animals. Then we got number 3, which was explore the underground. Number 4 was Alp. Alp gave us a new monster and a miniature if you got the deluxe. So then we got up here into 5, and now we're at 6. And 6 has been unlocked. And then we'll get a 7th. And when that 7th one gets unlocked, there'll be more. Now it says, look at 87 stretch goals. We could get into the 90th stretch goal. And it's even possible to get into 100th. We would have to go for over a week. But they may even... Go On Board is all about giving its community surprises, and they love surprising us. They love supporting the community because the community supports them. Alright, so back to comments. We'll try to go in here and answer at least one question, maybe a couple more if we can. But the community is so strong and very active right now that Freddie is a very active member of the community, amongst others, that are pretty much on top of everybody's questions. Very, very helpful community. Very helpful. Let's see what this person is asking. Kazar. I don't know if I'll be surprised or not if I wake up tomorrow morning and the endgame continues. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'd be excited, but I would not be surprised if it continued much, much further. Jax, I wonder if Go On Board has something special in mind for backers if they hit 10 million euro. What do you all think? Yeah, I think they do. They never disappoint. Scar of Karamorn, 100%. Actually, let's go at. Yeah, come on. There we go. Go On Board are proven to be the masters at delivering smiles to the faces of their community. I would imagine we may see a few more during the end game, during the pledge manager. Let's try to spell pledge. Let me get this to the top so you guys see as I type. Pledge manager. I don't like this keyboard. I need to get a new one. It's just the keys are way too clunky. They get caught up and sometimes they don't even register during the pledge manager. And just before delivery. All right, let's make sure. Go On Board are proven to be the masters at delivering smiles to the faces. Smiles to the faces of their community. I would imagine we see a few more surprises during the end game, during the pledge manager, and just before delivery. How many backers right now? I can't find it because, yep, I wonder if we hit 30,000 already. We could be close. Yeah, there's no way to tell because the information provided shows how many backers supported the end game, but it doesn't show you what number backers that we have. But like you can see that this is probably the easiest way is to just see what backer numbers there are. So we have over 30,000 backers. How many new backers we got is going to be something that maybe the developers Go On Board can tell us. Unless somebody looked at the number just before the in-game timer started, then we won't know how many extra, unless Go On Board tells us, or if there's some other way to find out. But yeah, we're over 30,000. So that's almost half of the followers that the game got before it even went live. So yeah, it's like backer 40. I'm backer like 1,000. What is my backer number? I'm backer number 1,098. So I set my alarm for when the campaign went live so I could try to get my low number. I wanted to be in the top 100. There is a backer, number 1, obviously. The Explorer, I believe, is their GameFound profile name. And like when they come in, it's like, backer number 1. I wish I could be backer number 1. I'm just glad to be a backer. Let's see. Please, big surprise at 10 million. Audio narration is a highly requested next to that is, or right alongside that, is wanting to bring old world monsters into Legacy. They have Legacy monsters, at least the new ones, going into old world, but I would like to see that reversed. So I would say the app narration for Legacy, since we're focusing on Legacy, would probably be my highest as well. All right, let me take a bite of my oatmeal here. Well, it's a fruit bowl with yogurt and cooked oats on the top. I don't think I should really call that oatmeal. So Flo says, please, big surprise at 10 million, please. I mean, really big. No new monster. Audio narration at 10 million would be nice way. Freddy says, okay, wish granted, no new monster at 10 million. The big surprise is you get absolutely nothing. Okay. I'm not sure why Freddy said that. I'll say that. Don't jinx it, Freddy. All right. Fast for... Oh. I was like, what? Damn, almost 4 days already. The crazy Suzanne Dobner vote. Okay. Not sure what that means. Aren't there supposed to be dice trays available? Yeah, those come in the pledge manager. The aim is 10 million now. We all believe in it. Do or die. Thumbs up on that one, brother. Come on, everyone. Use up your last savings after all the Christmas expenses. Oh, wow. Like, there were times where, and there still probably happens, to where there'd be these injection of negative vibes within the community. People would come in just out of nowhere, one-liner, negative, like no constructive input whatsoever. Come in, be positive, and if you have constructive criticism, that is very valuable. Please jump in and give constructive criticism. Give negative feedback with a constructive suggestion. But there was a flow of negative comments just coming in saying, you know, let's say that I made a comment like, I really like the way that the narrative is going within the game. I like how you're making it a choice matters system. You'd get some people that come in and say, yeah, we already know that, we can read. Oh, okay. What was your statement for? Like, why did you come in and say that at all? Or people would say, I really like the way that the dragons are done. Or I really like the fact that we're able to play as Yennefer. And people would come in and say, well, I don't like it and it's stupid. That would be their contribution. And it would be, you know, a couple of regulars that would come in and do that. And listen, it's an open forum. I guess it would be the same thing as if you were walking through a busy, bustling market and people were saying they don't like the prices. Well, to each their own. But it seems to have shifted to where it's a lot more positive. Those regular negative vibe naysayers aren't as active. I think they have eaten their words. Many times I would see comments that would say along the lines of, this is going to be a horrible campaign. It'll never go past 20,000 backers. It'll never make more than 8 million. It'll never make more than 6 million. You know, just feelings and assumptions, but they're all eating their words now. First playthrough and solo. Would you go for solo mode with Varel or 4 hands? I think me personally, I'm gonna solo the first run within a week, then bring it back to square one, start again with with friends. I think that's how I'm going to do it. When I get it, my first playthrough, so for my first playthrough, solo, the first run, complete within a week, then bring it back to square one, then start again with friends. I think that's how I would want to do it. I would want to sit down, go through all the systems, learn the ins and outs of it, play with one of the Witchers. I'm not quite sure which Witcher I would choose first. There is a Q&A or a a questionnaire that you can do that they posted in one of their updates to where you could go in and which Witcher are you? I forget which one of the Witchers, which Witcher allows cards to, like, they cycle through their cards really well. And that's something that I'll have to jump into and kind of get an idea for the feeling of those particular Witchers. It is July 2027. The Witcher Legacy has been delivered to backers, but Endgame is still ongoing. See, this is the positivity. This is what makes this community crowdfunded project so great. And again, you're always going to have those naysayers that just want to come in and cause havoc, and they provide the kind of chaos that lets you know that people have a passion for something. So keep it coming. The constructive, negative feedback, if you're constructive, then I'd say 100% come in and tell them everything that you don't like about the game and how you'd like to see it changed. They are listening, and they have been a proven supporter of communities giving them that kind of feedback when it's constructive. But coming in and calling people names and having arguments is just really unneeded, unnecessary. And these will be people that aren't even backing the game, don't want to support it at all, so they don't really have any grounds to stand on. Or they'll say that they really dislike the game, but it's only from reviews. They themselves haven't played it. And that is a way to decide whether or not you want to do something. You can jump on a particular group that you believe in and that you trust that may not like something specifically, but you're letting them decide for you, and you're allowing another entity to tell you what is good and what isn't. I would highly recommend, if you like it, if you like The Witcher, then for yourself, go and try this game. I would say that with the amazing tool set that Tabletop Simulator provides creators, I would say at least get your game, at least get part of it on the table for Tabletop Simulator. It's a little bit difficult with games like The Witcher Legacy because it's huge narrative. It really requires a lot of time investment. Like The Witcher, I think if they could maybe give you a taste of one of the middle game scenarios, it would take a lot of work, and that's probably why it's not on the Tabletop Simulator, because it would just be chopping it up. And I'm rambling now to try to justify why it's not on Tabletop. It should be on Tabletop Simulator. At least the opening tutorial that they have themselves already shown. It would be nice to have that in there, just so people can mess around with it. Sleeved cards will fit the boxes. Okay, so Barney, I love when they say that sleeved cards will fit in the boxes, but if you got the Witcher Old World and you did all of the card sleeves, they did not. Like, if you are all in backer for the Witcher Old World, all those sleeved cards did not fit back into the big box that they created. Now, it might have fit if you got individual pieces, but the big box that they made, storage solution, if you sleeved all your cards, it did not go all back in there. There are ways to fit it in the box with it slightly raised, maybe by no more than an inch. But again, not everybody sleeves their cards, and it doubles the size of the cards. But it was close. It was certainly close. And there might be other ways to manipulate. And I've upgraded a lot of my components. A lot of them are in acrylic cases, so it's not a big detriment. But we'll see how they do. They said all sleeve cards will fit. But all right, I got a phone call. Give me a real quick second. All right. Let's get back here. All right, I think maybe I really hope that I haven't been the screen itself hasn't been covering everything up as I read through it and make my own comments. So I apologize for that. I'm trying to push it up to the top, or at least the top half of the screen as I'm doing this. All right, yeah, sleeved cards will fit into the box. So you heard it here. I hope they will. Oh my god, I cannot follow now in the extension period. What does that mean? Oh, I cannot unfollow now. Oh. Well, if you're not pledging, then what does it matter? Like, are you... It sounds like they're not into the game, but they came into the comments to say, I can't unfollow. Yeah, you can turn off notifications if you're worried about those things pinging you. Hello, is one of the playable characters female Witcher? It would be nice to have at least one Witcheress character. Okay, so Lithos is jumping into territory. Jumping into territory that the community is going to be like, so there are no female Witchers. No female candidate for Witcher has ever survived the Trial of Grasses. The Trial of Grasses is the transformation that the human body goes through to become a Witcher. And no female has survived that process. Now, Andrzej Sapkowski, I may be saying that name completely wrong, and let's make sure. I think it's Andrea Sapkowski. Let's bring up our AI co-pilot friend. What is the name of the author for the Witcher books? Here we go, standing by. Andrzej Andrzej Sapkowski. Again, I apologize for not saying that name correctly. And if I just did my homework, I could probably just see how it's properly pronounced, or listen to some of the interviews or people talking about. I'm going to say Andrzej Sapkowski. He has not said that females cannot be Witchers, but females in the lore have not survived that trial, so there are no female Witchers. Ciri is the closest thing that we have to a Witcher. Now, Ciri is now the main protagonist, the playable character for, I think, the next trilogy of Witcher games. So Witcher 4, 5, 6 should be all about Ciri. Now, imagine if that arc is Ciri becoming the first female to become a full Witcher. I don't see that happening, but maybe that might be something that happens in that narrative. So again, the author of the Witcher books has not said anything about females will never or can never be. Just currently, no female has survived the trial. Now, they're saying that they want a female Witcher, but that's not going to happen. And Go On Board are in collaboration with CD Projekt Red. So if the CD Projekt Red lore masters and the Go On Board lore masters, maybe they're still... I'm not quite sure how the license for Sapkowski's work was given to CD Projekt Red. They're obviously still making Witcher content and Witcher games, so that's either however that license is working for them. If they're in like sit-down conversations with Sapkowski, I hope that they are. I know there was some tension between the author and CD Projekt Red, and I guess how payouts and everything happen. Maybe I'll do some more research on that so I understand it a little bit more, because right now I'm just talking about it in a meandering experience. But the ability of female Witchers is unlikely. Now, if we see Ciri, that's a completely different thing. Yes, we could possibly see Ciri in The Witcher Legacy. They could do a forward compatibility and allow us to bring Witcher Old World content, and Ciri was an exclusive, so you're not going to see the Ciri from Witcher Old World unless you purchase her on eBay with the price hikes that you will see over there, the unholy price hikes. But Go On Board is not going to re-release her. They've kind of made that very clear, that they've taken a stance on when they call something an exclusive. It's an exclusive for the people that were there at the time. It's a reward, it's a gift, it's a way of saying thank you, and they're not going to diminish that definition of exclusive for them. Some companies do. They're like, yeah, it's not exclusive anymore. But you could say it's a timed exclusive. You could say, hey, the series only going to be available for an exclusive, and it's not going to be in retail for the next 5 years. So if you want to wait 5 years, it'll be available after that. I'd be okay with that. And like exclusive pricing is another way of doing it. I'd be okay with that. There's different ways of doing it, but at the time they called her exclusive, and she'd never be in retail. If they change that stance, then they can change the definition. But the definition at the time was what it is. So maybe we could see Ciri in a different format. They could bring her specifically for Witcher Legacy, New pose, new model, new abilities, everything new. 100%. Okay, do that. I don't know that there are female Witchers in the lore, but for girls, players, Freddy's going to answer this, there may well be a Witcher 4 board game with a playable Ciri at some point in the future. This is not that game, though. This set is considerably further into the past. Go on board said no Ciri due to lore reasons. They're fine with Yennefer, but nothing more. Personally, I don't mind playing as a male character after all. Between the books and the video games, that's always been the case. Maybe if we keep breaking records, though, release Ciri, the companions as miniatures, and the narrative app. Yeah, I have to respond to this one. This one's a good conversation. Let's see if there's any other comments. For lore reasons, there are no female Witchers, but there is the female playable sorceress. I love this topic on female playable characters. I love this topic on female playable characters. The female characters in the Witcher series have integral parts to play. Having Ciri playable in the Witcher, whoops, need to capitalize the Witcher Old World has nope. I can't type in. As Jesus, has been so much fun. Gosh dang, I can't type with this keyboard. So you have to push down probably 3 to 4 times as hard as you would with a brand new keyboard. And this thing is probably a little over 10 years old. It is an, I don't know how you call the raised keyboards. It's not a low profile one, but I got to tell you, this keyboard, I need to get rid of it because I will be typing quickly and it won't register a specific letter, or I inadvertently touch another letter. It's just it's a poor keyboard. This I do not like this keyboard. I can't type that well anyway, and this just makes it worse. Has been so much fun. I would love to see Ciri return here in oh gosh, now I'm capitalized, in a different pose, character, board, abilities, a legacy specific way. With all new content we certainly will not see the old world Ciri make a return, but a new Ciri, maybe CDPR could approve the Ciri we see. Okay, just lost the yeah, I need to find out how to tell my Xbox to stop turning off my controller. I love this topic on female playable characters. There is certainly a passion for them to be front and center. The female characters in the Witcher series have integral parts to play. Having Ciri playable in the Witcher Old World has been so much fun. I would love to see Ciri return here in a legacy-specific way with all new content. We certainly will not see the Old World Ciri make a return, but a new Ciri would be fine. Even though Ciri arriving arriving at this stage in the campaign is more and more unlikely. More and more unlikely. Perhaps, maybe, CD Projekt Red. Let me get this up here. I apologize. I'm typing where you guys can't see it. Maybe CD Projekt Red could approve the Ciri we see in Witcher 4. Either as a future new board game, as Freddie mentioned, or as a playable character expansion. We know that Ciri can manipulate and travel. This has got to be painful watching me fumble through typing on this crappy keyboard. We know that Ciri can manipulate and travel through space and time. Oh, Soas and time. So a stand-alone scenario or simple addition to the endgame would certainly make us all happy, regardless of preservations. I mean, there are some people. I know I'm like sitting here yapping as I kind of figure out how it is I want to respond, because it is, I wouldn't necessarily call it political, but I mean, there are passionate fans that have a lot of investment in this series, that know a heck of a lot more than I do, maybe even know a heck of a lot more than CD Projekt Red or Go On Board do. And the stories have melded, diverged, synergized, unsynergized, broken apart. You know, they've thrown in some things that are canonical, non-canonical. It's all just in the fun of the universe, being able to have fun with the things that you play with. There is obviously some contention and a divisive, stance that everybody's going to have. I like seeing female characters. I prefer playing as female characters, but when the story is about Geralt, I don't need him to be replaced. He's center stage. That's what we want from his story, his saga. Now that Ciri has a playable game coming up in Witcher 4, I'm excited to see what happens with Ciri's story. What is going to happen? And I appreciate, being able to. I prefer to look at the female character. I prefer that. That's just me. That's okay to have a character on the screen that you want to play as. And Ciri is an extremely popular character. She was in The Witcher Old World. She was in The Witcher Path of Destiny. And to not see her here is... it's not sad. It's just, oh, well, she didn't make it in here. Maybe she'll have her own board game. Maybe they'll do a I don't necessarily want them to do a Witcher 4 board game. I just want them to do more board games in the Witcher universe. I wanted them to do more board games in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe. But I am a huge fan of, excuse me, I'm a huge fan of Evelyn Parker. I wish I could have saved her in Cyberpunk 2077. She has a place in the new Cyberpunk 2077 board game coming from Go On Board, where she may still be alive. She's not playable, even though it'd be a cool surprise. Let's say you go and you actually save Evelyn, and then she becomes a playable character. Maybe not so much in combat, but maybe as a hacker of some kind. You know, anybody can be programmed with a combat capability. I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but I enjoy it when female characters make it into games for obvious reasons and many other non-obvious reasons, and not the shallow reasons all the time, but they're there, and I appreciate it when they put Ciri into Old World. She's an awesome character to play as. She manipulated space and time to make it into that century that the Old World takes place in. She could do the same thing for The Witcher Legacy, and if they do it, they do it. If they don't, then they don't, and that's a good decision on Go On Board. They've definitely been listening, though. They've definitely been listening. Yeah, so before I post this, let's reread it. I love this topic on female playable characters. There is certainly a passion for them to be front and center. The female characters in the Witcher series have integral parts to play. Having Ciri playable in the Witcher Old World has been so much fun. I would love to see Ciri return here in a legacy-specific way with all new content. We certainly will not see the Old World Ciri make a return, but a new Ciri would be fine, even though Ciri arriving at this stage in the campaign is more and more unlikely. Maybe CDPR could approve the Ciri we see in Witcher 4, either as a future new board game, as Freddy mentioned, or as a playable character expansion in Legacy. We know that Ciri can manipulate and travel through space and time, so a standalone scenario or simply an addition to the endgame would certainly make us all happy, regardless of any reservations. Yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying, yeah, I like Ciri too. Alright, so I think that'll do. We are, let me get back into this. We've been going for a little over an hour and 13 minutes, kind of talking about Go On Board's Witcher Legacy. Let's jump into playing some of the Witcher 3 here. We're going to be here until we hit the, at least hit the 4-day marker. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's see where that timer's at. What if I went back to the timer and the timer had expired? It would still be cheers of congratulations. We're still in the 9-minute. Like, it's very rare for it to be different than that. We've made 10,000 almost since we've been streaming here. So it took about an hour to do 10,000 over the rest of the day. We've got a little less than 2 hours before we hit the 4-day extension, thanks to 12,600 backers. Alright, we're going to get this zoomed in here. This will be the banner underneath the game. Let's go ahead and get the game going here. Let me get chat. YouTube should be up. Let me see if it's not active or not. One momento. I did pop out the chat. Doesn't seem like it's showing right now. Give me a quick second here. I apologize. I do not see the chat box for YouTube. I'm going to jump back in here again and see if I can find it. There it is. Okay. Alright, chat box is up. Make sure we get this down over here. Just kind of push that over to the side. So we'll have the timer running down there. I'll try to have the timer over here on the left side as well. We need to set all of our chat boxes to live. All right, let's play a little bit of The Witcher 3. Geralt's been sitting here waiting like, it's all about The Witcher Legacy. Why can't you just give me my time? All right. Put our sword away. All right, so we're still on a Bloody Baron mission, even though it's called a Princess in Distress. We need to find the Peller's Goat. I hear it. Now, do I have this particular... do I have the bell? Now, do I get to keep this bell is the question. I'd love to put this thing back in my pocket and interact with it later as I'm playing. Just like every time before I fight a monster, ring the bell.
There you are. Here, goat. Here, princess. Hoofed and horned. Should have known it would be stubborn. All right, time to try the bell. Come on, let's go see the Peller.
Watch for wolves.
Do I really have to keep ringing this bell for you to follow? This way, your grace.
You can see the house just off in the distance there.
Where the hell'd you go?
Really? What the heck is he doing? Okay, interesting. What, a bear?
Bear! Bear! Run, you shit!
Damaged items. One of your items is in bad shape. Repair it, otherwise it won't work. Alright, let's go. Can I repair while here? Let's bring out the other sword. Which one is broken? Burn, baby, burn. Take all his stuff. All right.
Do I really have to keep ringing this bell for you to follow?
Yes, you do. You have to keep ringing the bell. I know, I know. I kind of look at board games sort of as a way to extend what it is that players know of the video games that they play, or the IPs, the books. However, that fans of particular material,
You're no roach.
whichever way they come in. Some people may come in
got
through
that
the TV
all-important
series.
quality
Some
every
people
roach
may
has to
come
have.
into the
You
Witcher
don't
video
talk much.
games through the board games. I guess Some people may come into the Witcher IP through the video games, they may come in through the TV series, the anime, the comics, the board games, all different ways of coming at this IP. And for me, playing the board games, The Witcher Old World, reignited my love of the series, so I rewatched the live-action show. I haven't gotten into Season 4 just yet. I just restarted my Netflix subscription for primarily so I could watch Edge Runners again. Even though I have the collector's edition of Edge Runners, which is just right here over my shoulder, I haven't watched it. I don't necessarily think I want to open up this box set. But I'm, because of The Witcher Old World, I'm back into the Witcher series. So they kind of reinforce each other depending on what medium you engage the IP.
Happy for you, but I'm kinda in a hurry. Anna and Tamara, they might be in danger.
The White Wolf helped the Peller, and so the Peller shall help him. Blood. We need blood. A living being.
Fine. Be right back.
Just use Princess.
Will this do?
They are not here. They is God. Blood. I see blood.
Whose?
No Anna. No Tamara. Just the child. A child that lives not, yet did not die.
It's over? Is that it?
That is it.
Spirits had nothing more to say? Like where they went or where they are now?
You came for an augury, and augur I did. They're gone, the child remains.
Mentioned a child. Whose?
Why, Anna's.
Anna was pregnant?
She was, and she miscarried.
Baron didn't mention it.
Afraid, perhaps, or ashamed, or forgetful. Or perhaps he had no wish to remember.
Anna tell you all this? Did she come here after it happened?
Nay, not Anna. 'Twas the omens told me.
Great, so I can be sure it's true.
The omens need not your faith to be true. It is you who needs the omens to lead you to truth.
That's a good way of looking at it.
The Baron have anything to do with his wife's miscarriage?
Foul-tempered he is, and he's a fondness for hooch.
No doubt makes his temper even fouler. Did he abuse his family? Anna came to you, you must have noticed something.
The Peller's old, near blind, but Princess came and licked her hand.
So what?
She's a wise beast, only comes to those who suffer.
What happened to the child?
In a grave thrown, without rite or ceremony, it awoke. Now it wanders, it seeks vengeance.
A botchling.
White Wolf, Wise Wolf, catch the botchling. The botchling will help, lead the wolf to the loved ones.
Botchlings suck the blood of pregnant women and eat their fetuses. They don't help.
'Tis a being cursed, and witches lift curses. If the White Wolf can't lift it, he should bring me its blood. Blood will always find kindred blood.
And here I am talking while I'm muted. Pretty much what I was saying is looking at the chainmail here on Geralt's shoulder. The engine rendering, it doesn't look like it's 3D at all. It might have a little bit of bump mapping, I'm not sure, but the lighting certainly gives it a rendering effect that makes it pop up off of his shoulder there. It looks good. This is the upgraded version of The Witcher 3 for consoles. PC probably had this kind of stuff in spades, and certainly modders have gotten their hands on The Witcher 3 and given us a little bit more visual fidelity well before. But again, the entire source code is available in the Red Mod system that CD Projekt Red has made available. But I'm looking forward to seeing in the hands of CD Projekt Red how the Unreal Engine works. Every tree is not going to be handcrafted. There's procedural generation, and I'm okay with procedural generation being used so that the artists and the team can focus on crafting the story versus spending a ton of time making every single blade of grass. And I don't think that's really been a thing for many years. This stuff is not being handmade. There's a lot of systems helping these creators. Now there's going to be handcrafted trees that are beautiful and stand out from all the others, but I like photo modes. You may see that from a lot of the gameplay videos I've done for Cyberpunk 2077, spending time with photo mode. I entered my photo into the photo contest, did not win, didn't think I was going to, but it was fun making the attempt and learning a lot of stuff about that particular platform and what the photo mode is. I imagine they're going to have an amazing photo mode in The Witcher 4. I hope that they don't abandon that, because the community making photos and sharing that with the world is what makes this community and what makes this series that people beloved even more interesting to follow. Sorry I was muted. I do that all the time. I'm sitting here eating and I think people don't want to hear me munching, so I mute it and then I forget to unmute it when I start yapping.
Heard of one Witcher who lifted a botchling's curse. Never tried it myself, though. I know you need to bury it under the threshold.
And give it a name. Perform the Ein Roin.
The ritual of naming. That's an elven custom.
Human, elven, dwarven, ancient. Spirits have no race. They honor not its meaning. Win a spirit's favor, and the spirit shall aid you. Ask, and it will answer. Seek, and it will show you the way.
Why do you want its blood?
Blood, blood, blood. It binds men for all ages, the living and the dead.
Sure, but what do you want to do with it?
At times, a century is too short for two brothers to reconcile. One dies before things are set right. The other then brings his blood to the Peller.
And what does the Peller do?
He awaits Forefather's Eve. He mixes the blood with milk, herbs, and hen's feet. He drinks to reconcile the dead with the living. There shall be no Forefather's Eve this year, but we'll find a way all the same.
I hear you right. You mentioned Forefather's Eve. Pretty old custom. Thought it had died out.
Death lurks in every bog and puddle round here. Folk know they could die, their earthly matters unresolved. Then they require help, or they'll not know peace. Forefather's Eve must be performed. Light the tallow candles to lead them through the dark. Call them by name, appease their regrets. Only then may they depart in peace.
So, if you ever see me, let's go ahead and look at the timer. Oh, it's at 7 minutes. Let's jump over there real quick. 7 minutes and 51 seconds. It's rare to see it at 7 minutes. Let's see how long until it jumps back up to 9 minutes. Guarantee it's not going to run out. Well, I can't guarantee that. There's a really high chance that one person is just sitting there waiting just to go, I'm going to save this project. Beep. Upgrade. Whatever happens. If the timer runs out, I'd like to be here for it. I think it's going to go into tomorrow. But it could end as well. I personally would like to see it go to a week. And it will be super hard for any other project to do that. Yeah, I think what I need to do is, again, to set up my studio. Now, there it is. We're back at 9 minutes. Reset.
Whatever I do, I gotta find the botchling first.
Seek it at midnight, near the grave that lies empty.
If what you say is true, the Baron ought to know where that grave is.
All right, read the bestiary to learn more about botchlings. All right, so we'll go into here. We'll go to glossary. We'll go to the bestiary. We'll go to botchlings. You know what I need to learn more about is ogres or ogroids. There's a character in The Witcher Legacy, or a monster in The Witcher Legacy, that is a cave troll. There's a rock troll. There's ice trolls. But I believe trolls have variants, and those variants are, I don't know, you want to call them a forest troll, an ice troll, a cave troll, rock trolls. I'm not sure exactly where each fits. They're all ogroids, so there's a character miniature in The Witcher Old World that is just called Troll. And I had the miniature here and the card here, but I've taken it downstairs because I've been playing The Witcher Old World pretty regularly ever since the live campaign for The Witcher Legacy. Otherwise, I'd be playing it like once a week, since I got it. The cave troll in The Witcher Legacy is called a cave troll instead of a troll, but it looks just like the troll, which are both rock trolls. They're all ogroids, but then there's I feel like I just need to bring this up and share what it is I'm talking about here. So let me get into this right here. We'll go to project. I think is a good spot to show this off. Let me zoom out a little bit here. And we'll go scroll down until we get to the section for the monsters. And it should show, I apologize for like the way that I scroll through this. I hope it doesn't give anybody any kind of motion sickness. Just look away from the screen until I tell you that we're on to the monsters. But the cave troll, and then there's another troll that's just called Troll in this Witcher Legacy game. But the cave troll, they're all ogroids. I just don't know if this is representing a cave troll, which are more aggressive because they guard the entrance to the caves, I believe. Let's see, here we go. All right, let me move out a little bit here. Okay, so we have ogroids right here. So this guy right here is the cave troll. Now, in The Witcher Old World, it looks just like this guy. Of course, he doesn't have a hammer. He's just kind of reaching forward. And this particular guy is the cave troll. But you look down here, this guy is just a troll. Now, they're all ogroids within the ogroid family. But I think this, and I could be wrong, the troll that we have in the Old World is a rock troll. This is a cave troll, rock troll. And this is a troll, but you notice that if you look at, I'm going to try to zoom in here. I apologize that whenever I zoom in, the GameFound kind of make sure it's compatible with the screen. So if you look at this guy, he doesn't have the rocks on his back. So he's not, to me, he's not considered a rock troll. He's just a troll. So what is his, what's his big difference for his particular species? Sorry, I have to keep scrolling down again. When I update the size, it kind of auto formats and throws everything away from me. So I apologize for this screen scrolling like it does. And again, my bestiary knowledge is improving, but if I have, where is it at? I have my Witcher 3 strategy guide somewhere around here. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold coming back on. Not a cold, just where is my Witcher 3 strategy guide? Where, oh, where is my Witcher guide? Where, oh, where could you be? Would have been nice if it was within. There it is. It is within reach. All right, so Witcher 3 strategy guide. If we go back into the bestiary of this particular book, I miss them making books and strategy guides for video games. They just, I mean, they sometimes they do, they just don't do it as much as they used to. Like, it felt like almost every strategy or every board game, God, I can't even talk. It's almost as if every video game had a strategy guide for it. Alright, so we have elementals, insectoids, sirens, succubi. Foglets are in the necrophages. Just trying to get to the trolls. Alright, here we go. Alright, so ogroids. Let's read this, shall we? I might have to bring in a brighter light here. Give me a quick second. This is going to get really bright in here. Okay, let's read this. Ranging from massive cyclopses to the deceptive necker, the ogroid family of monsters is surprisingly diverse, requiring a variety of tactics and approaches to fighting them. One thing that ultimately defines the ogroids are their propensity for brute strength. Even the diminutive neckers can grow into terrifying forces of nature. Alright, so Cyclops they talk about, and we have a Cyclops here. Ice Giant, we have, and I wonder if this guy is considered an Ice Giant. He doesn't have, I just don't know. Because there's rock trolls and there's ice trolls. Now, rock trolls are these guys right here. Even though it's called a cave troll, I mean, they're all trolls. That's a troll. That's a troll. It's just this one happens to be a cave rock troll. And in the Witcher 3, I don't have the complete edition guide. This is just whenever I bought Witcher 3, I bought this guide with it. But so I don't have. There's another version of this somewhere. I might try and get that, but it's a complete edition strategy guide. So maybe they have some more stuff on there. And the World of the Witcher is also something I need to grab a hold of. I think I'm gonna swing by a bookstore today. Maybe Barnes and Noble has some Witcher stuff, because now I'm back into loving The Witcher even more than I did before. And this is 100% thanks to the amazing work that CD Projekt Red does. I'm loving Cyberpunk 2077, so I'm looking at all of their games again. And The Witcher, while it was not my top game, it was certainly a game that has always been there, and I have had a lot of admiration for, but I'd never put as much time as I have with Cyberpunk 2077. That being said, the board games from Go On Board, Witcher Old World, have made me love the Witcher series all over again and with vigor. So I am jumping headfirst into this again, and that's thanks to Go On Board's board games. So it was an absolute dream when they announced they were making a board game for Cyberpunk 2077. I was over the hill. Like if there was a hill and I could run up it and just say yes, that's what I was really, really excited for. So now my periphery, my scan, is always looking at what Go On Board is doing next. And as I sit here, I think maybe I can get in on Tekken's. Can I get in on Tekken's late pledge? Like I love their games, like, and it makes me re-engage with the video game series. Whenever Cyberpunk 2077, the board game delivers, it's going to make me love Cyberpunk 2077 all over again. So let's see. Can I get in on Tekken the board game? Is it in late pledge? It's pledge man. Everyone can pledge. View original campaign. Actually, yeah, I can. It made 868,000. This was their previous project, and it was a amazing project. It really, really was. And you look at the rewards. I think I'm gonna just, like, look at this screen. This screen right here. Like, look at all of that. Like, it's going to be. I feel like I really want to jump in on this one as well, but I've got so many projects going right now. But I love their game mechanics. I love how they put card play into the game. I love the way that they handle it. And their production value, their polish is really at the top of the industry. It's unfortunate that this one has not even made 1 million yet. And this one only has 3,742 backers. And it's got 20,000 followers. So let's scale that. So 70,000 followers. Yeah, they didn't even get half of the backers that they probably were hoping for. But again, this is Tekken. It didn't really have the narrative. I don't know what this says to me or says about the genre that you make. Do narrative board games, are they more popular? For Go On Board, for me, I think that might have been one of the reasons why I haven't backed Tekken, because it's a competitive game. It does have more than 2 players. I think you can get up to 4 players. You can have like a tag tournament. And I like the Tekken series. I like the way that its stories are told with its characters. I always enjoyed like Tekken Bowl. I think it's the narrative that is not at the forefront of Tekken is the reason why I kind of was like, maybe I'm not. And I also keep looking at my Street Fighter, the miniatures board game, which I have everything. I actually have it here over my shoulder. And Josco, that was the company that made Cyberpunk. Sorry, the board game for Street Fighter, and I have it. I have everything put into these nice boxes. It's all beautifully organized. But here are my miniatures. I have them in this large box here. I got like all 3 of these like really nice boxes for, I think it was around $20 they were on sale. They were just kind of nested into one another. Let's see here. Let me get back over to my stream screen here. I'll go back over to the cam. All right, so this box holds all of my miniatures, and this is something that I did. I put it all in here. It's got a magnetic top right here, and I don't think I can get the camera to really look inside of this very well. They're going to slide a little bit, but these are all the miniatures. And let me get a white light going here. that might help you guys see what's going on in here. Like these are the miniatures. I believe there's 32 of them total. Let me take a couple of them out of here. And these things are like amiibo quality, if not better. Like these are some gorgeous, gorgeous miniatures. But I just don't play the game enough. I can't get people to want to play it. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm lying. I could 100% find friends that would sit down and play this game with me. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. And each one of these characters, all 32 of them, I think my number's right with 32. Each one of them comes with their own 40 card attack deck. Let me see if I can grab a set here, because I'm in sharing mode here, obviously. So I appreciate anyone who has the tolerance to sit here and listen to me yappity yap and share some of my fandom here. All right, let me grab a single character deck. I kind of want to grab Chun-Li's deck, but I'll just take what I can get here. So this is their card deck for Street Fighter, the miniatures game. And this is like, most of this is brand new art. Like art that was made specifically for this board game. Some of it is art that already existed within the Street Fighter universe. I don't know if bringing them closer is going to be any better. The camera's not super great with auto focusing. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 20. A stack of 20 next to another stack of 20. So you have 40 cards total. Every character, all 32 characters, have their own deck of cards that are 40 cards. And that to me was like, wow, that's amazing. But when I got the game, it just didn't feel like it had much substance to it. So I started to taper away from it, and I haven't revisited it. But that doesn't mean the game is necessarily bad in any way. It just didn't capture me. And I like card games. I don't do Magic the Gathering. I think my biggest collection is Lorcana. Oh, man, I want to, I absolutely want to jump on this Tekken game, because I think that Go On Board's execution of it is probably what's going to make me enjoy it more than what I may or may not enjoy about the Street Fighter. It just didn't, the combat didn't feel right for me in Street Fighter the Miniatures game, but I think the more I play it, it may just start to click. But CD Projekt Red, Go On Board's execution of The Witcher Old World has made me really appreciate their design style, so I kind of feel like I want to jump in on this one because I like Tekken, I like fighting games. They're not my top on the list of games that I play, but Go On Board's design style may make me like, okay, I appreciate it, and then that might make me go and play my Street Fighter card game or miniatures game a lot more. So it's here. I kind of want it. I am going to be missing out on any of the free exclusives. So I probably have to pay for them myself. But I've just got so many projects going right now. I'm waiting for all those to get paid off. If this is still available, so I'll have all of my, I think I have currently 5 active Kickstarters going, and those should be paid off thanks to Stretch Pay and let's say 6 months. If Tekken is available, still available in 6 months, I'll jump on board. I'll go on board. But yeah, it's interesting to see what Go On Board does, and some people have even asked, and I would like to see Go On Board do a project that is not connected to an established IP. Now, Go On Board is in a really cool position to be right there with, in Poland, being a Polish company, um, right there alongside CD Projekt Red. For those that are still working on The Witcher now, CD Projekt Red has a Boston, Massachusetts studio here in the United States for the next Cyberpunk Orion game. And they may not be as close to that team, but that doesn't mean Go On Board can't, do teleconferencing and sit down with a team that's working on Cyberpunk Orion if they were going to make another board game. And I could 100% see Go On Board making a Cyberpunk Orion board game, maybe like a year or two after Cyberpunk Orion has been out, because they're not going to necessarily want to spoil anything. But even the Cyberpunk 2077 board game that Go On Board have created are diverging from the narrative around the Konpeki Plaza mission. So it would be interesting to see the different take that they have on it. All right, let me jump back over here to The Witcher Legacy. Let's look at the timer. Hopefully this updates on the stream. It does. We are still in game. It's still around the 9-minute marker. We are 1 hour away, 1 hour 5 minutes away from being the 4-day, and I think that's where we'll call the stream. And maybe I'll come back and stream just playing The Witcher. But it's cool to be a part of something that just resonates with you because you're a fan. And it has been nothing but a positive ride with a proven development studio like Go On Board. It's awesome that they're connected with CD Projekt Red, another studio that has just proven to weather a storm, to push through because they believe and love their project and their IP. They take good care of it. They know its value. I mean, they are a company. They are a for-profit company, but they're also a community-driven entity. They know what needs to be done to weather whatever storm. And yes, CD Projekt Red launched Cyberpunk 2077 in a certain state, and they've learned from that. I mean, studios, if they stick to it, I think will be seen and appreciated by the community. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with Go On Board, but it just shows that a studio that really cares for their IPs are not going to just let them die and fire, development studios just because their bottom line isn't exactly what it is that they wanted it to be, because investors are, and I believe Go On Board is a self-funded company. They're not, they don't have these huge investors that must, you must yield this much, otherwise, we might as well shut down the company. So for a long-winded way of saying, nothing but positive vibes from CD Projekt Red and Go On Board. So I will be there to support in any way I can. Now, we were talking about trolls. We were talking about, what is the difference between an ice troll or a cave troll or just trolls, ogroids? We have cursed ones, elemental beasts, hybrids. I don't think we've gotten... we're going to read this. All right, saying... That's part of that. Darn it, let's go in here. So we got hybrids, necrophages. I haven't... Oh, there we go. Ogroids right there. So neckers are the only thing that I've seen for ogroids. I'll probably see more. I definitely talked to a troll somewhere in the... I forget his name. Yeah, we actually have a conversation with him. Okay, we looked at the... you know what? We looked at it. The game recognized that we looked at it, but you know what? We didn't really read it. So let's read it. Botchlings. Saying a botchling's ugly... Or actually, let me get back into full screen mode. This is also why I have that little tiny screen of the game, just in case I start doing things and talking for hours. At least there's a screen somewhere of the game. All right, back over here. All right, I'm going to move my screen, my video here, down here to the corner. Just so that we can read this, I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to keep this over the top. So we're going to bring the endgame above the chat. All right, so we don't lose that. I'm going to bring the chat down a little bit here. All right, this is just so I can, while I'm reading this, you guys can read along. All right, so saying a botchling's ugly is like saying shit's not particularly tasty. Can't say it's a lie, but it doesn't exactly convey the whole truth either. Lambert, Witcher of the Wolf School. Botchlings are perhaps the most repulsive creatures a Witcher will ever have the displeasure of meeting. Born of dead, unwanted babies, discarded without a proper burial. Their appearance is that of a partially decayed fetus. Their unformed flesh twisted with hate, fear, and malice. These hideous creatures feed on the blood of pregnant women, driven by a mad hunger that most often leads to their victim's death. The botchling. I believe, again, spoiler, that Ciri becomes a botchling, or the botchling is connected to Ciri. Gosh, it's been too long for the narrative for me in The Witcher. Again, I probably really played most of my time in The Witcher 9 years ago. All right, let's go talk to the Baron. Roach, let's go. Come hither, my friends. Come hither. I wonder if me being kind of in this spot of the game is okay, but I'm gonna put myself back over here. Right there. I'm gonna make the chat box a little bit bigger. So if chats happen, that's where they'll be. I'll make sure that the bottom of the chat is. Let me type something in the chat real quick. Let's see where it shows up. So test. All right, cool. That shows up right at the bottom. Nothing's going up. All right, Q. Everything else looks good. Let's look closely at the timer one more time. 7 minutes, 50 seconds. All right. Sorry, Roach. Didn't mean to have you wait there.
That's it, Roach.
That's it, Roach. Bum, 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 ba-do.
Go.
We are going to be playing The Witcher pretty regularly. I'm going to go through all 3 video games. I'm going to go through Thronebreaker. I'll be jumping into Gwent a lot more. And again, this is to prepare myself. I already play a ton of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm very familiar. Oh,
Lightning strike.
I forgot about that. One thing I have not played is either of the expansions for The Witcher 3. I have not done the is it Blood and Wine, and what's the other one?
Got eyes like a cat. Catch mice too.
Come on.
Darren Schmarren. If I want to plough some peasant lass, I will. Don't give top that in the back.
Come on, men! Get up there and help! What are these dudes? What's he just standing there for?
Faster.
Yeah, why are those guys not helping? Get your butts over there. Help put out the fire.
Oswin? Where's Oswin? Anyone seen him?
Believe I saw him heading to the stable.
What?
Fire. You blind? Nobody willing to put it out?
Yeah.
That's simple.
What you guys thinking?
Both are afraid. Baron flies into a rage. He takes no prisoners.
My
No
brother's in the
prisoners, huh?
stable. We've got to save him. He'll burn alive. Him and the horses.
All right, let's try.
See what I can do.
See
Hurry
what I
now,
can do.
quick!
All right. Why is fire always my problem?
What will you say now? Next time I ask you to drink, will I... You, where do I know you from, eh? Ah, right, the Witcher!
The Witcher!
Drink with me! Pale as a ghost you are.
I know your wife miscarried. Was that before or after you beat her to a pulp?
What the fuck are you suggesting?
Don't play me for a fool. You'd been beating them for years. Finally, they'd had enough and fled. Sound about right?
Ah! Get over here!
They ran from you, didn't they?
Lying prick!
That'll sober you up.
We need to talk. Sit down. You beat them.
I never laid a finger on Tamara. Not once.
And on Anna.
That's another story. She always knew how to spark my ire.
Expect me to believe you were a loving father to Tamara after that scene in the courtyard?
You're free to believe whatever you wish, but she was always the apple of my eye. She had the run of the place, ask anyone. She'd ride the horses, hunt with the men, at times join them on their rounds. And they'd send for her when I flew into a rage, for only she could calm me.
Make it sound like she led a charmed life. If that's the case, why'd she run?
I'd hardly need you if I knew.
Your wife. How'd she make you angry? Too much salt in the soup?
Hearts of
Socks
Stone,
never
right? That's
darned?
the other one.
20 years we've known each other. She's seen me drunk and sober. She was there to greet me when I returned the victor. She was there to patch me up in defeat. Like no other, she knew where to press, where to pinch, so it would hurt.
You beat her? For that? For criticizing you?
Oh, Witcher, you haven't a clue, have you? Well, perhaps I shall tell you about it one day. One day, but not today.
You knew they had run away from the start.
Yes, I knew.
Why didn't you tell me? Wasted my time.
Say I had. Say I'd said I had troubles. Couldn't control my wife, my daughter. What kind of flaccid prick would you take me for?
Doesn't much matter now. I know how to find them.
How?
I know about the baby.
Anna and I. It wasn't as it seemed.
So we're here playing The Witcher 3 while the Witcher Legacy board game is going on in the background. The timer is still going. We're at 9.9 million. We are about 53 minutes away from going into the 4-day extension. And as I'm playing this Bloody Baron mission, as we're kind of talking about the botchling and his issues with his wife, the way that his marriage is going, great stories, right? Great stories. In The Witcher Old World, there were these small pockets of stories in Phase 2 when you had encounters in the wilds or you had encounters in the city. And if you had the encounters in the city and you made specific choice, it was a choose your own path, choose your own adventure. And within those little stories, it could expand into side quests where you would extend the story, and it would just tell these little trinkets. Trinkets probably isn't the right word, but these little pieces and pockets of story that were very endearing and memorable. And I haven't to this day come across all of them, because when I play The Witcher Old World, the stack of cards for the encounters in the wilds, the encounters going to Skellig Islands, and the encounters for the cities, the wilds, Skellig, those are shuffled up, and it's a stack of cards. I would it's a substantial stack of cards. It's at least over 100 of them, and on within those they extend to side quests, which are numbered cards. So it says, hey, if you made this choice, pull card number 12 and then go to this location on the map to find out what happens. And those little stories are just so memorable that you have, like this with this Bloody Baron mission, there's just like such good side stories. This isn't even the primary. I mean, it kind of helps me find where Ciri is, but what Ciri is going through, that's the primary story. And all the stuff that's on the side, I think CD Projekt Red has done a really good job of making sure it's not a bunch of fetch quests or just, hey, could you go pick up this herb and come back? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some of those, but they feel more substantial. And the more I play this, even the more I play Cyberpunk 2077, I know these little pockets of like environmental storytelling are happening, and like, what bearing does the particular mission that I'm on have on the overall story of V, the overall story of Geralt? And within the board game, it's a little bit harder to do that in the competitive game that is The Witcher Old World, but with The Witcher Legacy, I'm looking forward to seeing like these little side quests that we're doing, the side expansions for the story, the scenarios. Like, what bearing do they have on the overall story? Will they give little trinkets of information that, you know, lend to the overall narrative? That's what I'm looking forward to discovering and finding out on my own. All right, let me fix some. I got this extension cord for my headphones because some of my other streams, this green one here was the length of my headset. It's not really long, and when it was reached over to be plugged into my laptop, I would stand up to adjust and it would yank this thing. So now I have this extension cord right here, which makes it super long. But now there's so much of that extension cord that I got to make sure that it's not binding on anything, so when I stand up I don't yank other things off my table here. So I have a cable tending system. I just hook it on these hooks, which allows the cable to, like, who cares about my cable, right? It allows the cable to move while it keeps it out of the way. All right, give me a quick second. Thank you so much for your patience. All right.
Things.
All right, I'm all ears. Tell me what happened. The truth this time.
I'd been soaking myself 3 days straight. Anna came to me, said they were leaving. I begged them to stay. She refused to hear it. I tried to stop her. She wriggled like an eel.
Like an eel. She fell. Oh.
Last blasted thing I remember. Woke up in the morn, breeches heavy with my own piss. A large bump on my head. Sadly, they were gone. Know what that's like, Witcher? No. How the fuck could you? I was left with nothing. Nothing! Only the bottle.
Tamara present for all this? She see you quarrel?
Through the doorway, perhaps. She didn't enter the room. Shame, too. Things might have turned out differently. The sight of her always calmed me.
Signs of a fight in the room. Hole in the wall, wine all over the landing.
And I will say thank you to all those that are lurking. I appreciate those that are stopping by. Hopefully the board game that we're going to be looking at a little bit more as we get closer to the 4-day timer for being in the extended Endgame. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for at least being curious, maybe clicking on and you see the stream. Like, if at any time you're curious and you have questions, if you just want to dive more into the board game, 100% willing to do that. I'm going to be making a little bit more of these particular videos, and maybe one where it's just me going through every little bit of information that I've found on the board game, helping people where I can. I am very active in the comment section, not so much over the end game period, but I am posting in there at least once or twice a day. In the end game, I was posting all day long during the live campaign proper before the end game. But I'm still over there, and I'm looking forward to continuing to help the community. But if you ever come into the streams and you see me here and you'd like to interact and ask any questions, feel free. I'll try to keep my eyes on the chat where it pops up and give you those answers, or just share what it is that you're looking to find out more on. But again, I thank you for being here.
We tussled. She tried to whack me on the noggin with a candlestick, but kept missing. Hit the wall and a pillar instead. I staggered backwards onto the table, spilled the wine, slipped and tumbled. Anna used that moment to flee. She rushed down the stairs, still clutching that damn candlestick. I caught her on the landing. We fell. I thought I had her. Then she turned and smacked me in the head. I blacked out. Don't know what happened next. When I came to, I was alone.
Signs of a fight in the room. Hole in the wall, wine all over the landing. Was that you?
We tussled. She tried to whack me on the noggin with a candlestick, but kept missing. Hit the wall and a pillar instead. I staggered backwards onto the... Anna used that moment to... I caught her on the landing.
Sorry, I forgot I already picked this one.
What happened next?
Next, it only got worse. I awoke at sunset, not knowing how many days had passed. Thought it was all a ploughing, drunken nightmare. And then I went to the bedchamber, and Anna was not there. Instead, there was blood everywhere. I knew she'd miscarried. My breath short, my throat locked. I neared the bed and saw it. It lay there, a tiny thing, defenseless, on bloodied sheet.
Why is Geralt's hair just... And like, is it really that windy?
Dead. And it was my doing.
Maybe you're doing, maybe not. But that amulet she wore could be important. Or maybe the fact that she lost it. What did you do with the child?
What was I to do? Took it out and buried it.
Just like that?
Damn you! I gave no thought to a funeral. It was a horror. I wanted it to end. That child had been my dream. I told Anna, the little one, our little one, to make things right. Yet she died before she could be born. Understand, Witcher? My child was dead.
Get hold of yourself. Men like you, when they break down, look downright pathetic.
You're a heartless bastard.
Bastard.
Mutations worked then. But here's the good news. Your dead child might help us find the one who's still alive. And your wife.
What? How?
Sometimes miscarried fetuses, if they don't get a proper burial, turn into botchlings.
Into fucking what?
A cursed creature that draws strength from killing pregnant women. Once it's strong enough, it attacks those who scorned it.
But how? How does it know?
Blood ties. They're a strong bond. A bond I want to use to find your family.
How?
One of two ways. Legends claim you can bury a botchling under the family's threshold, perform a ritual, and turn it into a lubberkin. That's a sort of, hob, a guardian spirit that could lead me to your family.
And the other way?
We kill it and draw some blood. Take that to the Peller and he does the rest.
Do not kill my child. It's suffered enough already. Lift the curse that it may finally rest in peace.
Whatever we do, we gotta find the botchling first.
I'll show you where I buried her, and I'll dig the grave at my threshold.
If it turns out we can't transform the botchling into a lubberkin, they can bury us in it. Handy either way. The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight, at midnight.
Then wait here with me. Near midnight, I'll take you to where I buried her.
Get word to the common folk. Ought to stay in their homes tonight and draw a line of salt outside their doors. And try to sober up.
Do I take a shovel to dig up the grave?
Take it. You'll need it, but not for that.
A bit further. Follow me.
You give the child a name?
No. Why would we?
Mistake. Names are powerful seals.
Here's the spot.
Chose a lovely spot.
Damn it, will you relent? I'm ploughing now I've done wrong.
Good. The grave's dug up and empty.
What's that mean?
Botchling's on the prowl.
Look!
Take it in your arms, quick.
And if it goes Garrity, it'll bite us in the arse before we know it.
Keep screaming and it will turn rabid. It's calm for now.
Bloody hell. What happens when it gets ploughing restless?
It'll bite through your jugular, and you'll bleed to death before I can help. Tell me if it starts wriggling. I'll calm it with magic. Pick it up. Take it in your arms.
Aww.
Merciful gods.
Back to the fortress.
What? With this?
As I recall, you were the one wanted to test the old legends, change it into a lubberkin.
Wow, Wookiee's so cute. Yeah. I love that they've done this. You could actually put it over here and make this look like a... I mean, this is a forced perspective kind of a thing. It makes it look like the character's as big as Geralt. So you could take a picture of this and the forced perspective would make it kind of... Actually, I'm going to take a picture of this.
Fuck.
I think last time I did this, I killed that, and then I think that causes the Baron... spoiler. If you kill the botchling instead of trying to turn it into a lubberkin, the Baron hangs himself.
writhing something fierce. Can't hold it. Calm it somehow.
Use Axie sign. Axie.
Oh. Quiet now.
Now see that, okay, so I've mentioned this before on the way that you play Witcher. You could take off all of the heads-up displays, you could try to explore the world on your own, try to navigate the world based on landmarks and really listening closely to everything that the NPCs are telling you. And for calming the botchling, I would say, all right, how would I calm it? It's probably from science. So if I go over in here, Axie influences an opponent's mind. I don't want to do a blast. I don't want to do fire,
What do you want to do
protective
with it?
shield, or a magic trap. This right here would say, yeah, if I was versed in the way that the game offers information, I might have been able to figure that out on my own. And I wonder if I was unable to do that.
Tales are true. By tomorrow it'll be.
If I was unable to influence the baby's mind just because I, the player, am not a Witcher, wouldn't you think Geralt would know? And I think that's what sort of the underneath this screen right here. I'll try to move this over so you kind of get an idea. And I go back here. All this information right over here is telling me what I need to do. Now maybe that's the Witcher's mindset. That's what Geralt is telling himself. So while I would love to, don't know what I'm moving back here. While I would love to have a run, and I'm going to try to do a run to where I don't use any of the information that the game is providing me. I just listen, well, the markers and the task lists and stuff like that. I instead just follow what the characters say and read books to figure out what it is that I need to do. Know what each of my signs are. Know what it is and what it means to be a Witcher.
More coming. Hurry.
Alright, so I feel like Arden is a magic track for the raids. I'm playing on Give Me the Story, so I'm definitely having it easier than I probably would if I was playing on a harder difficulty.
Stopped.
Chosen a name?
No,
So think of one. It's important.
it's a girl. What would Anna have named her? What now?
Repeat after me. By the powers of earth and sky.
By the powers of earth and sky.
By the world that was to be your home.
By the world that was to be your home.
Forgive me, you who came, but who I did not embrace.
Forgive me. You who came, but who I did not embrace.
I name thee. Say her name. and embrace thee as my daughter.
I name thee Daya, and embrace thee as my daughter.
Good. Now bury the body.
I don't know, maybe this is the one that he just decides to take his own life. I don't know. Again, it's been years. But I've played this one multiple times. I think I would remember by now. Oh, the shovel's missing.
What now?
In 1 day's time, Dea should turn into a lubberkin.
What's up, Eldon?
I'll stay here and wait.
This quest is so
You go
weird
home.
and good.
I'll wait with you.
Good weird.
Out of the
How are
question.
you, my friend?
But that's my child. And the guilt, the responsibility for all this lies with me.
Time for parental impulses? It's long
Want to know a
past.
fun gaming
Besides,
fact?
nothing else you
Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please bring your attention to the chat box where our man Eldon will regale us with a tale of lore. What you got? Lay it on us, Eldon. What you got? Yeah, I've been... actually, we could probably bring up the... Nope, don't want to push that button. The timer for the game is still going. We are almost at 4 days of extended time from the live campaign for The Witcher Legacy. It has been quite an amazing ride. Amazing. I say amazing way too much. I need to stop. It's superb. It is eloquent. It is exquisite. I think I might do a stream at some point. Maybe like I don't know, maybe tomorrow, where I just maybe like an hour's worth of just jumping through the campaign, looking at what makes it great. I mean, as we continue in this end game, like if it's still in the end game tomorrow, I'm going to try to do a stream every day that leads us into the 24-hour rollover for the next day. But it's been nothing but a surprise in the way that laws of surprise in the Witcher universe yield quite a beneficial thing for the recipient. So like the solo experience, like if you were to be a solo player within this game, you have a character named Veril that accompanies you as a companion throughout the campaign. And the game is 40 hours long, right? So if the game is 40 hours long and you play each of the 4 Witchers individually, maybe build them up and see where they're at the end game, and you personally, solo player, build 4 Witcher characters so that can be used endlessly in the end game mode. Like that's 40. It's just that's so much time. Like over 160 hours if like you're probably pushing through it of gameplay. There is a PlayStation 1 game called E.T. Interplanetary Mission. In this game, it's not the E.T. from Atari though, right? The one that is in the landfill that Atari tried to sweep under the rug. In this game, you can watch the credits via options. At the end of the credit, it says, "Fuck off, Bin Laden." What? What? I said, what? Really? A PlayStation 1 game, huh? Whew. That is an interesting fact.
Just Witcher's work left to do here. Gotta wait a day and a night for the botchling to turn into a lubberkin. That's it. Go home.
Eldon
And
laying
try not
down
to
some
drink yourself stupid
gaming history. Summon the buried lubberkin where the botchling is buried. Okay, so I need to do that here. This is where he buried it. Sit and wait. It's true, it was covered in the latest Angry Video Game Nerd episode. I need to start watching that. You've already told me I need to. I've actually been watching any...
By blood's power I summon you. With your name I beseech you.
What was the character? Let me find this other guy I've been watching. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Any Austin. This is the guy I've been watching. Let's see if we have one for Witcher. He did one for the Rivers, yeah. This is the guy I've been watching.
River from the hit 2015 video game The Witcher 3, and I have a question. Is this real? I mean, obviously it's not real, it's a video game, but I just mean, could this happen? Because, let me show you something. If you look on the map in the game, you can see that the river starts down here in the bottom corner, and it supposedly flows this way towards the ocean. But if you actually look in-game, none of this water is flowing. No matter where you look. All of the water along this river from top to bottom is just sitting in the same place on top of it.
Now, he does this for a lot of games. I think he's given some focus on Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher, Grand Theft Auto, but he has a really interesting analytical look at, let's look at the world. In Cyberpunk 2077 Night City, there's 2 dams, and they're in close proximity to one another. And like, why? Why are those 2 dams even there? And he will analyze how everything works. And he also he also recognizes and identifies some of the amazing environmental storytelling that CD Projekt Red has done with Night City. And things that are in specific places look like they fit. They're not just thrown in there. There's, for one small example that Eddie Austin has done, he's gone in and found trash underneath a bridge, which isn't part of a mission. It isn't part of anything. It's just a world building. And the trash is piled up in a way that if the NPCs were to drive over this bridge and toss trash, this is where it would accumulate. And it makes sense. And the dams that I was talking about before, there's 2 dams in close proximity to one another, but there's a kind of a reason that he analyzes and dives deep into that I'm sure that the Angry Nerd guy does, like these deep dives into not the game lore necessarily, but what makes the game function and its world building makes sense. So yeah, I need to get into the gaming nerd guy. I feel like it's an interesting perspective to look at things that way. Everybody does comparison videos, like look at the PlayStation 5 compared to the Xbox. It's like, I don't care. And it's I say I don't care. I'm not trying to be dismissive, but for me it's just not a big enough difference to really care about it. Or hey, look at this game, I can shoot in the water and it makes a splash, and this other game it makes a smaller splash. I appreciate these a little bit more. It takes a little bit more effort to do. It's a thinking man's channel, and I think that you kind of suggesting some of this stuff is pretty good. Is that the same guy who did the video on Cyberpunk's water supplies? Yeah, he did it for the water supply. He did one for he did a census in the town of Valentine in Red Dead Redemption 2. He also looked at all the power systems and the power lines and the power infrastructure for the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. He's like, look at these power cables. Where are they coming from? And he would trace it all the way back to the city to where this makes sense the way they did this, and all the wires came to a central location. It's like, okay, I never really noticed that. And now it's people like you, like pointing out things in the Dark Souls series. It's like, oh, that's why that makes sense. Guys like Eddie Austin, I'm sure guys like the Angry Nerd, they focus on things that maybe are on the side. And I really appreciate the world building that these designers and developers and artists create, because some of the stuff can be so fleeting. And I know people's time is limited, and I mention this a lot. I appreciate people spending time here with me because they could be spending that time playing their games. So any time that people spend with me, they're spending a very valuable resource that they have. But these artists create these things that people probably don't have a lot of time to really focus on. I have a lot of time to focus on them. It's just my current situation in life that I have a lot of time to do this, and now I'm appreciating even more. I used to do this on like a smaller scale when I didn't have as much time, but now I've got a lot of time, so I'm really looking closely at a lot of things, and it's fun to do so. Sure, you'll find more holes and things like, oh, well, look, you can see actually on the strap for Geralt right here, he's in a specific pose that's causing his left shoulder pad to clip through the strap that's going across his chest, but who cares? But it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. But damn, do these developers try their damnedest to, sorry, my language, darn do these developers try their hardest to get as close as possible. Yeah, Annie Austin, I like his videos. There was another girl that I was watching. She did a really good video for Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now, there was a big community uproar, about certain parts of it, but she took a well-rounded, more analytical, more fact-based versus feeling-based approach. And she's like, listen, everybody's making the community think that Dragon Age: The Veilguard is a 80-minute tutorial on gender equality or gender race and all this other kind of like bashing of what people are and what they decide to be. And it's not. It's not that at all. But the community of outragers and those that are triggered by small little things made it, blew it out of proportion. But she looked at it factually and it's like, all right, can I come out of hiding and like actually talk about what's really good about the game versus the ones that are just focused on the bad? It would be like for me if I made a video and all I did is focused on this strap that's clipping through the left shoulder pad of Geralt, and that's all I focused on. And then I called Witcher 3 a crap game and poorly developed. That would be a forced perspective, and there's a lot of forced perspective, and I like the way that guys like Annie Austin just kind of look at things in a different way, factually, and just have fun with their games. Do you know Majular? I think you would really like his content. He does really deep dives into old RPGs. One of my favorites, actually. Majular. Almost like modular. Majular. Let's find I can't type. Majular. Is this the right one? Was it 2 U's? Is this the right one? Majular. It looks like old RPGs, so seems like it's the right one. I already love the way it starts. Wait, is that Alien? Is that Mother screen?
1991, the developers at Blue Sky Productions in their New Hampshire offices were hard at work building Ultima Underworld.
I would love to, and I need to, take all these ideas, make a scripted, edited video versus mostly what I'm doing live. I would really like to make videos and really deep dive like these guys do. These guys, yes, I would love this. I'm subscribed. And hopefully it starts to populate into my feed and the YouTube algorithm gives me the things I want versus the things I don't. Yeah, I like these sit back. You could just relax and listen to like the lore and like the intellectual, intelligent being talk about games versus getting triggered on the smaller stupid stuff. Sorry, I have digressed from the topic of today's stream. I apologize. Let's go back and look at where the Witcher world. Again, thank you for the suggestion, my friend. As always, we are still at a very high funding value. We are 15 minutes. We are 15 minutes away from the 4-day timer going over for this extended project. This is absolutely amazing. I'm going to go into the comments section here, and we are going to post a comment. We're going to say 15 minutes to go for a roll over of the timer into 4 days. Amazing community. That's not how you spell community. Amazing community. Let's keep it going. 15 minutes to go for a rollover of the timer into 4 days. Amazing community. Let's keep it going. That's just like, wow. Just wow. Anytime today I raged at my teammates in Night Rain. Night Rage, so to say. Maybe I should. I know we've tried to play games, and again, our timeline never really meets up. Like I know we tried to do Monster Hunter, didn't quite work out for a couple of reasons. Not Baldur's Gate, but Borderlands. I know that certain things get in the way, and that's understandable. Hopefully, I can get into at least playing Night Rain in the future, because it's certainly, especially like some of those character-based stuff looks pretty cool. I imagine that's what it is, right? You don't build or customize your character. Like you're not shaping their face or the color of their hair, right? You just pick a character, you go in, and you build from there, right? Let's read what Elrod says. Happy holidays to everyone. No one is excluded here. No one. So let's get back to some casual fun and not send in the hatred artillery. At Sato. What did Sato say? Again, these are the people that, try to balance out the feelings that everyone has. And then they are just feeling. I hear your opinion and you have my sympathy, but please enjoy your Christmas with your dears. It will be your Christmas time, not anyone else's, so enjoy it to the fullest, you and all others who celebrate it among us. And don't get angry at a company that does what it should, staying precisely neutral toward its client base in all its variety. I wish all the best to all of you and your others. I think we just unlocked a new side quest, Oath of Unwishing. Merry Christmas, everyone. We all know what holiday time this is. Christmas, happy and Merry Christmas time to everyone. Metsakurat. Merry Christmas, go on board. Thanks for The Witcher Old World, and thank you for Witcher Legacy, and I trust we'll stay true to the OG lore. They've never been away from being true to the lore, because CD Projekt Red is where they get approval from. Either way, Merry Christmas. Oh, and the unlucky few offended by Merry Christmas don't. Okay, that's just too much. We don't really need you to come in and make like personal attacks on anybody. Saracen, I would highly recommend you posting your referral link in your personal social media. Here, it's going to get buried. New quest, Crow's Warrior. All right, let's go look at it. Even though that we're 15 minutes away, the actual unlock has probably already happened. So let's go into project. Let's jump down here, scroll down. Let's get to the end of the add-ons, and right here, slowing down, this one right here, Family Curse. It looks like we're going to get another one to pop up here. It looked like someone had made a comment, and I need to get 2 of these open. Get a comments and otherwise another day of Endgame, another side quest unlocked. The latest side quest design is a work in progress, so we already know about that one. And what is it? I'm not going to read it. I was going to what did these people say to have some of these other people say calm down? Henry Cavill is one of the backers here, right? Livik Ren. Livik Rene, I think was a backer. Livik, that actually looks like Livik Yerna. That looks like it would be a name within the Witcher series. Like, come on. I mean, obviously it's a mirror of Henry Cavill, but Livik Yerna would totally be, I think, a name. Okay, at this point we need to reach 10 million. It's going to be reached. If it doesn't get reached within the time frame of this particular live extended campaign, we're going to reach 10 million easily in the late pledges. People are going to be able to continue. The pledge manager will open up for everyone, and then it'll just blow up again. All right. Okay, so our timer, let's go back to that. Let's jump over here. Let's jump over here. Let's go over to our pledges. And let's get into the Witcher Legacy. And let's go to project. And jump down here. Let's zoom in. Let's get this up here. There we go. All right, we're still going. We have 10 minutes. 10 minutes to hit the 4-day rollover marker. So we're quite ready. All right, that should be good right there. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Right there, that should be what pops up on the game as we're playing. Yep, that should be good. 9 minutes 55 seconds, or sorry, 8 minutes 55 seconds.
Hear my call and arise, Dea. Lead me to those bound to you by blood.
Jump on Roach here.
Giddy up.
What did I do to deserve your company?
Move it.
I wonder if that spirit is visible to everyone else. They're not responding to it. Or if it's just visible to Geralt. Okay. Horseback fighting, not my best.
Ugly bastard.
Yeah, I need to get better at fighting. Much, much better. And that's primarily just being a better Witcher.
Go, go.
I'm glad he waited for me. Drea.
Run, Roach.
Sure wasn't lavender they kept in there. Might be worth looking around, though.
Alright, let's see. Can I go here and repair this stuff? Do I even have a repair kit? Trophy. Let's go into here. I don't even think I have a trophy kit. Let's see here. Or, sorry, a repair kit. Alright, what's our timer at? Let's check this real quick. We kind of want to be there. Alright, we got about 6 minutes. Yeah, I don't think I have a repair kit with me. And if I did, I wouldn't know what it looked like. I figured if it was anywhere, it'd probably be in the crafting. Alright, both my weapons I need to take to an armor. Alright.
Horseshoe. No way a pitch burner could afford a horse. Clothing. They change in here?
We need to go into the house. Don't look like we're going in there. There's something over there.
A bracelet. One of them must have dropped it. Both were here. I'm going the right way. Wants to show me something more.
Show me, lubricant. Alright, we got 5 minutes till we hit the 4-day rollover timer. Got something following us. Let's see if we can outrun it.
Faster.
Oh, do we have to fight? Oh, no, just lost it. Seems like you're going too fast.
Come on.
Now, since I'm following this lubricant, I would think that it would give me something to lock on to. Rotfies. Now, these things, I think, explode if I... Gotta be careful with that one.
Necrophages had a field day. Still worth a closer look.
I'm gonna be watching. These guys are gonna kill me. Poisonous and stinky. Your attacks stink. Oh, back up, back up. Ah!
Should examine that horse carcass.
Alright, let's take all of this stuff. Alright, 2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. Once it hits the 59-minute marker, let's actually, we'll take a pause here. Let's jump back over to the big screen here. That's not the button I wanted to push. All right, all. We are at 3 days, 23 minutes. Sorry, 3 days, 23 hours, and 58 minutes. We're about to roll over here into 59 minutes. Again, this is my timer that I see whenever we hit the 4-day marker. Sorry, the 4-day rollover for the timer there. That we've extended it as a community. Quite an amazing feat. Quite impressive. It is really a testament to how well the team at Go On Board, how strong the community is as well. So it'll be cool to see that. Now, I don't know whether or not this thing is going to roll over on its own to 323, 58, and then go to 59. The timer still is going, but hopefully we get something that shows up proper. But yeah, I'm really impressed. I am really, really impressed to see. Oh, we actually got a comment by the Explorer. All right, I think we still have good time. That minute's going to switch over. We have a comment by the #1 backer that just dropped, it looks like. Let's see if we can scroll down here. Let's see if we can get it. Let me see. Just depends on where they replied at. But I did see a comment by the Explorer right there. Okay, lesson learned. Never reply to a pinned comment. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm not quite sure. But as you can see right here, the Explorer is backer #1. The Explorer has spoken. Backer #1 has spoken. All right, let's get back up to the top. We're probably at the 59. Let's get to the project page. I don't know why I clicked over here when I should be right here. There it is, you guys. 4 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes. Amazing to have reached that particular milestone. Well done, well done. That's 4 days. Let's go jump in and make a comment here. There it is. There it is. 4 days extended and ongoing. There, let's go ahead and post that. Yeah, very, very impressive. Go on board. Very, very impressive. Witcher community, go on board community, fans of board games. Those that aren't fans of board games that just essentially came here to back so that they could then sell it on eBay. You guys contributed one way or other. What you guys do with your property after you get it in your hands is fine. I'm really looking forward to playing the game for hours and hours and hours on end. So yeah, there we are. I said I was going to stay here until it rolled over. The counter is still going. We didn't quite reach the the 10 million euro mark. We got about another 50,000 to go, but we're here. We were here when it rolled over into the next day. Maybe we'll be here when the timer rolls out. That's probably a less likely scenario to happen, but there we are. Again, thank you all so much for being here. Eldon, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, as always, spending some of your time here with me. People's time is absolutely the most valuable and limited resource that they have. To share that with somebody in any capacity is much appreciated here by me, as it is, but I'm sure appreciated by everyone that gets other people's time. So I will see you guys again maybe tomorrow when we see this continue to go into a possible day 5. I'm looking forward to it going into a full week of being extended. It has surpassed the record. It has shattered the record set by other games that have been extended by a couple of days. We're into 4 days. We're starting to work into the 5th day. I hope we go a full week. That just cements their record for the GameFound project being funded. So I think that's going to be it for it for me. Thank you again so much for being here. I'm going to try to do more of this. We'll talk more about the board game itself. The game spoke for itself. Go On Board did an amazing job leading up to the live campaign, throughout the live campaign, during the end game. They're going to be back and giving us more with the updates for this game, updates for their other projects, Cyberpunk 2077, Tekken, The Witcher Legacy, and whatever new projects they have on the horizon. It's going to be an amazing ride with them at all times. Proven masters at their craft. But as always, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. I know I was playing The Witcher 3 in the background here, and it wasn't the primary focus, but I really do enjoy sharing the things that I love, and hopefully you can come back and share some of your thoughts on the things that you love as well. So I will see you guys very, very soon, and goodbye.